This is going to be a very interesting conversation indeed, because what I see here is music as therapy. You know,
I'm sorry.
at the end of the last segment, Ayo said that he needed therapy after that segment, and I said to him he was going to get therapy soon.
You know, there are one of the questions I would love to ask our guests. So, this is a personal research I conducted.
Yes.
Back in time, growing up in broadcasting, I'd take a trip by public transport from Fadeyi bus stop in Lagos to Ikeja. Depending on the music the driver is listening to, I knew what kind of ride I was going to get. If I was hearing the guy playing reggae music, I know what to expect on the trip. If I'm listening to old school Fuji, I know what to expect. But if I'm listening to contemporary Fuji by, sorry, I know what to expect. If I'm, so I want to know if that's therapy.
Well, if you know what to expect from the music you're listening to.
No, what to expect from the driver.
From the driver, hey. But some people listen to all kinds of music.
Yes. You can't be a broadcaster and not listen to all kinds of music.
So it's interesting to know that music is not only cherished as a form of entertainment, but these days it has clinical relevance. Are you aware that sometimes surgeons actually play music to their patients before they operate on them? And they say that the music has some effect on their patients. Well, I can't interpret all that, but I have two musicologists in the studio who are going to tell us a lot more about that. I mean, how can I want to go under the knife and you're playing me some classical music and you tell me it will soothe me? Nothing can soothe me at this point, I promise you.
That music particularly gives me headaches.
I'm going under the knife. Forget it. Caleb Eguero.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Abiodun Ibiyo. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Both musicologists.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, who is a musicologist?
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Nice having me. A musicologist is someone that has studied music formally, not just gifted, but has gone through the process and the procedure of learning the art of music from the four walls of a university. Because we have a lot of people that are talented with music, but they're not trained formally. So a musicologist is someone that's been trained formally to understand music and its implications on people and the society. And how music is used within context.
Oh, that's why you can tell us what kind of effect any kind of music is going to have on any human being, depending on the circumstance.
When you were talking about the surgeon playing music, it was nothing. Wondering, anyway.
What kind of music can the surgeon play me when I'm about to go under the knife that will make me happily go under the knife?
No, already you're already on the table.
No, I'm not there yet. They're about to wheel me in.
Well, truth be told, it's not a direct effect. It's an indirect effect. The way our mind is structured and the way our body is configured, to go through that process of going through surgery, it entails a lot of mental appliances and the mental approaches. So what music does is to visit you indirectly, to keep you calm. Because when you are agitated, the procedure for the surgery becomes longer and becomes painful. So what music does is to quiet you a bit so that you can be relaxed and not be tensed. So you take your mind off the knife and the pains that you're going through and focus you on sound. And the way we're structured by God is that we respond to sound in a very different way. Sound has a way of soothing you, calming you down.
So that is you play in Bugana when I'm about to go to
that context. That's why I spoke about context. Yeah. It has the wrong context of the use of that kind of music. For surgery, something that is quiet, something that is calm, so reflective, that makes you think. And
classical.
Classical music does that very well. Not more of the contemporary.
Mr. Ibiya, you're nodding and nodding away. You're nodding away. Yeah. Yes, he's got it right.
Yeah. Basically, there's no one who wants to go through surgery that will not be anxious. And the doctors will need that person to be relaxed. So that, like he says, so that they can successfully carry out the operation and it won't be longer. And coming back to heal will also be better or faster because of that music. The person's mind will definitely be taken away from the activities around. Unconsciously, like you said, it's indirect. The person will just not be able to explain that. I'm just relaxed.
I'm at peace.
I'm at peace.
Exactly.
So that's it. Yes, he's not seeing the knife. He keeps saying under the knife. There's no knife at that point. He's not seeing the knife. He or she was aware of the knife before. They will create it sometimes without you knowing. They
Is that in any way related to hypnosis?
Well, I would not directly say that, because what the doctors are about to achieve, they are trying to help the person. They are trying to heal this person, and they don't want anything to obstruct the process. So it's just calming the person down, not like hypnotizing to do something different. They have a goal that is also positive on the person.
Okay. Now, he spoke about, playing certain songs in context. And I've heard inventors, surgeons, creators of all kinds of things, they seem to pay a lot more attention to classical music. Why?
Well,
what can the classical music do that Kiss Daniel cannot do?
Okay. Well, music is way back. We can't go into the history right now. But you will agree that every form of music eventually came out from, and classical music is way ahead of some of this other music that we are really familiar with, the popular music. I think it all started way back. I think there's this thing called Mozart effect and all. Yeah, so that was the theory behind using classical, most especially for therapy. I think blues is also seen as, basically, classical music is structured music, it's serious music. It's not just done anyhow. Even your posture when you are doing the song, it has to be in a particular way when you are doing classical. So it's done to suit and it's relaxed, it's soft, it's peaceful. Even the sound, the round tone that must be produced when the song, even if, for instance, if it's an instrumental, everything has to be properly played it will make you relax. There's no way you hear classical music that you don't feel that.
You're going to sit us down and tell us what part of the brain directly does that sound particular instrument go.
Okay.
Well, Caleb.
Yes, sir.
There are, of course, different kinds of music.
Sure.
You talked about context the other time. Please, let us remove ourselves from the surgery room.
All right, good.
Okay. And and make more functional use of music. Okay. There's been a lot of music this season.
Yeah.
People just, go places, and always listening to music in the car. Some just want to forget everything. They play their favorite kind of music. Does music really help people to forget their problems?
Yeah, it does.
So music is a drug?
Yeah.
Oh.
We call something music medicine. But the truth be told is that not just any kind of music can do that. How it is put together the way it works is that music happens at 3 levels: body, soul, spirit, or spirit, soul, body. The intention of the music has a way of affecting the listener of the music. What did I tend to achieve when I was putting the music together? Like he spoke about classical music. Everything about classical music is intended, not happenstance. I intend that I'm going to play this flute at this bar.
Especially because it is written.
It is written, so you can see the music pictorially. You can see it in pictures, not just in abstract. Pictures, okay, these come here. It's like you're plotting a graph. So music has a bit of medicine attached to it. Now, when we talk about music and memory, and how does music help the average person to forget about past. Also, music can also remind you of the past, but it can make you forget painful experiences of the past. Because when music is being played, something happens to you in your brain. Dopamine is being released. And that's the pleasure side. Anytime you are engaged in any activity that gives you pleasure, dopamine is released. It's a cell in your mental faculty. And that is what makes you, the more you get hooked up with music, it takes you further from the pains of the past, but not just any kind of music. So music has that ability to make you forget the pains of the past by telling you, because music also preaches, prophesies, tells you of what is coming. There are better days ahead of you. So you see that's why you see varieties of song and genres of music have different way they are being written. Some music are more of prophecy, tell you good things about. So by engaging those kind of music, irrespective of their style, either classical, jazz, takes you up to the future. So in a way, there's a departure from the past into the future. So you have something to expect, irrespective of what you have had in the past, so you can look up for something better in the future. So music can be a medicine to take you out of past experiences that are not pleasant.
Mr. Bia, why is it that most times music is associated with joy, with happiness? You are sad, you go and play music, and it lifts your mood.
You lost your job.
You play music. Why is it associated with happiness?
Well,
joy.
Every human being is created to live, and everyone wants to live. You want to, and even no matter how bad every situation is, there is this underlying tone that everybody wants to be happy.
Yeah.
Now, music is the only thing that can help you express even your sadness. Because there is this fact that you don't want that sadness. You want it out. There is nothing that can transport that thing out of your system other than music. That's why even when people die, I know a tribe in this, where they will come and sing and do some kind of singing at even burial ceremony, is to also cushion the effect of sadness. So basically, because everybody wants to live and joy is the main thing about life, so music is that transport that will help you do that.
Do you think, asking the same question in a different way, do you think people understand the use of music, or rather purposeful use of music, as opposed to just pleasurable use of music?
Well, yes and no. Sometimes people do, and sometimes they don't. But they still use that music to achieve that thing unconsciously. I usually say that music is like something that can be to have every human as self-therapy. Even unconsciously. Some people, when they are just sad, they are probably not even educated. They have particular songs that they do play. And before you know it, they just realize they are fine again. That's why sometimes they idolize some kind of artist because of the kind of song and the way the song helped them.
Because it resonates with them.
Exactly. They may not know, but they just do. And sometimes some people do. But I believe that the percentage of people who don't know, who don't consciously use it, are more.
You agree with him?
Yeah. People use music for different reasons. But like I said about intention,
play music for different reasons.
Whether
or not they use it
or play it for different matter. Intention is key for any music that you want to listen to. What's the intention of the composer of such works? It goes a long way. It's not seen in the realm of the physical. Like for instance, Fela's kind of music, a lot of people are glued to Fela's kind of music. Fela intended his music to say something. So even the music can be saying what you are not even hearing to you. And that is where music goes beyond your ears here right now into your soul. Fela said a lot of things in his music that he didn't say. So the question is, now what's the intention of the music? To lift, to send us down, or to take us up? And so whatever music you find your hands on is doing something to your spirit and to your soul. So the question
whether you know it or not.
Whether you know it or not, no, that's the truth. Whether you know it or not, because two things make the music happen: the sound and the words. We are both cognitive and we are both emotive. So either the music gets to your logic part or it gets to your emotional part, it stays with you. So there's no room for I don't know what I'm doing, because the tunes of the sound you play keep resonating with you even after you stop playing such works. So definitely my concept and my understanding and my philosophy is driven into your heart without knowing.
So I'll ask you this difficult question.
Okay.
Are there certain kinds of music you shouldn't listen to when you're driving?
Yes, please. There's some kind of music you shouldn't listen to.
Here we go.
Yeah. There's some kind of music.
What type of music?
Okay. Number one, when music is structured, we have what we call tempo. And the tempo has to do with the speed. Now, whatever makes your heart pump faster, it's not healthy for driving, because it makes you be agitated. So you want to, when the music you're playing music that is so loud, that is fast, there are tendencies for you unconsciously to want to go faster. The speed of the music. So that's why it's better off when you are doing a drive, play something that calms you down, that take it easy. If you put something that's a little bit loud on your stereo in your car, there are tendencies you are excited, because once excitement comes in, you lose track of your state a little bit.
And you forget the speed.
You forget, you just play.
And you put your foot on the accelerator.
Until something happens that, man, I've 120, Jesus is Lord. Then music. So music has a way of affecting how we drive and how we do things. So if you want to do something that is very creative, that is very lucrative, kind of music is needed, soft, and it should be on the background, not something very loud. You should be able to hear your thoughts as you play music. When your thought is not being heard, then you are not
to hear myself think.
Yeah, yourself think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm reading something here, Mr. Bio. He said a study on the effect of music therapy on premature babies showed that they sucked better and stayed alert for longer periods when exposed to it. Premature babies react to music. And I've also heard that fetuses also react to music.
Exactly. True.
Yeah.
True.
How is that?
Well, I'll start by saying it's divine.
Sure.
It's divine, because from what we've learned and read, and age-wise, we know that as the growth of a baby, fetus in the womb, gets as they develop and get to a point where they start hearing sound. So now, music is the only tool that works with all the two sides of our brain. Like, I think mathematics is about the only subject that occupies larger parts of the brain, apart from other subjects. But music does
engage both.
It's all encompassing. It deals with your brain at the same time. You can imagine music is melody, harmony, pitch, form, and you are hearing a lot of things at the same time. And your mind, your brain has to process whatever is coming to it. So it begins to walk around the globe in your head. So sound is divine, and that's why your brain cannot even resist anything that comes to it when it comes to sound. So it helps bring even in child development, it helps them grow. It helps children, even in study shows that anything children learn through music it stays with them longer than every other thing. So because it's divine, and you can agree with me that even worshiping God, sound is what we use in communicating to God. So if that's what happened, how much more a baby in the womb? Because sound is the main thing. Music basically helps the development of brain.
How does
in
that
every
happen?
human?
Because at that age, can I even call that age?
They haven't even arrived yet.
They don't even. Do they have ears?
They do.
They do.
As fetuses, they would.
Yeah.
Ears.
Yeah.
Now, even a little bit of extension to what my brother was saying, not just humans alone. Research has also proven that even plants respond to music. Because when you talk about music, you deal with frequencies. Now, there's a kind of music you play on a certain scale that a plant that is close by will grow well. And the kind of sound that you create from music that the plant start dying because it's not familiar with it. It's not a friendly kind of. So music is not just for humans alone. The whole earth is structured to respond to music, and the whole earth is musical.
So if I want to plant vegetable, okay. Now, for the next 10 minutes or thereabout, let's talk about music as a lifestyle.
Lifestyle, okay.
You've spoken about one aspect of lifestyle, which some people enjoy doing, that is driving.
Yeah.
Certain music should not be listened to
when you're driving.
Not artists,
No,
music.
Music, yeah.
Fast-paced music, you take it a notch down.
Fast-paced and loud.
Fast-paced and loud. It makes you, your heart race, and consequently everything around you will race. How do people lose consciousness of that fact? Because people do lose consciousness of that fact. How do people lose consciousness of the fact that they're actually speeding when they are listening to this music? Is that absent-mindedness or what?
No, it's pleasure. Our weakest point is when we are excited. That's when we are weak. When you are very excited, you tend to lose track of what is happening. When I'm excited, I can just look, hey, I'm just all over the place. So that excitement that music creates make you lose consciousness. It's not intentionally, but because of your excitement. Like I said, once dopamine has been released into your body system, you already, it's pleasure moments where let's just enjoy the cruise.
You're somewhere else.
You're somewhere else. You're not in this world. So you're driving the car, you're not actually there. You're, oh, make me happy. So you're going, then you're not going there to try to meditate on the words of the song to get into your soul. Make me, you forget that you're holding the steering. So most of the times, if you do your research, it's quite that most of the accidents that happen most of the time, part of it is from the right kind of music with out of context. You're driving, and also
playing loud music.
Because definitely, for instance, there's a rule I was taught by the guy that taught me how to drive. He said, it's nice to be wind up all the time. Sometimes it's good to wind down to also be in the atmosphere, to know what's going around you. Sometimes your car sound may make a strange noise because you wind up and the music is loud. You don't even know that something has gone wrong. You're just closing your eye, you're singing on the top of your voice. So the pleasure is what people lose track of the current space that they are in.
Okay. Now, there's something we do in broadcasting, right?
Yeah.
Early morning, upbeat music, drive time, upbeat music, dead of the night, slow music.
Sober music.
Lunchtime is mid-tempo. What kind of music, that's for radio, that's for broadcasting. Sure. What kind of music should people listen to at what times of the day to be better productive for themselves?
Okay, two things will come to play. Outside of the tempo, the issue of the tempo, the speed of the music is the lyrics, if it's song, and if it's instrumental. For instance, if it's song-based, music that helps you think better, to be positive, to be focused. So music can be very distracting. While the sound may be good, but the words of the songs are very, very distracting. So you don't need that for a morning kind of. You need something that calms you down. Like one of the things I saw in research, that even Bob Marley's song, Three Little Bird, is also classified as one of the songs that is being used for therapeutic treatment. Yeah. Because if you look at the words of that song, even we will rock you. So those are songs that have cut across, that have been used because of it's just, like I said, they are intentional. The tempo of the music and the pace of your heartbeat, they are all simulated, they go together. So for morning, something that is not too loud. Wow. My thoughts must be heard as I listen to the music. Then also, I should think better as I listen. Music happens, like I said, 3 levels: spirit, soul, and body. I should be able to play, when I am playing music, I should be able to go past the lyrics and hear myself that, who am I on the inside of me? What do I want to achieve today? Can I achieve this goal? Faith is also built. The Bible says that faith cometh by hearing. So as you're hearing something, you're thinking something, your belief system is being of heaven. So that's the part of the thing. So in the morning, something quiet. Then in the afternoon, funny enough, I also saw that contrast, that you will think that afternoon will be good for something that is high tempo. No, it depends on your mood, it depends on your preferences. For someone that is not too personality type, you're the quiet type. Fast tempo music anytime may not be the hook for you because it's against your personality.
So is there a reason? It sounds like there is a reason why in banks they play certain kinds of music.
Instrumental. Yes.
No words, just instrumental.
Okay. Mr. Ibiyo, still talking about lifestyle, music as a lifestyle. If you would advise anyone going into the year okay, let me ask it this way. If you were to ask people to audit their lives in terms of the music that they listened to in the year 2022, what are the things that you'd be asking them to check to help them make better choices in the year ahead?
All right. Something like my brother mentioned, it's about your personality, your background. You mentioned earlier that classical music is not your thing. that you don't really like it.
He hasn't really listened to the good ones. Don't mind
I
him.
know.
Don't mind him.
I know that one by that was funkified. Yeah.
Beethoven's Fifth.
Yeah.
Fifth Symphony.
Yeah.
Now, first I would say everyone should be deliberate about every step that you want to take. Because life is not going to just happen. You have to make it happen.
But in terms of that, my apologies. There are those who say, look, popular music is the most popular music. And I know musicologists such as you gentlemen will be scandalized by some music when you listen to them. But that's what's popular with people. So in making, and they're not going to go away. Corporates are still embracing them. They still invite them for parties and all of that. So what should they do? That's the musicians. And what should people be looking at?
I was going to say that everything has context. If at this point in the morning you want to achieve a particular thing, you should play the right kind of music. I was going to say that again, that music therapy is something that everybody should embrace, in the sense that everyone needs it. You need to be in your right senses every time. So thereby, play the right kind of music. If you are the popular music type, but at that time you're at work, does this fit in at that point? You can't be playing that popular music when you are a banker, for instance, at the counter. Yes, you are. When you go to a club, when you get to your club, you can't do that. Nobody's going to question that, because the purpose at that time is that you want to marry, you want to be happy, but
you want to make your customers happy as well.
Mr. Igwe, what's your take on that?
My take on it is about, like I said, be intentional about what you listen to. Because you either feed your spirit or you drain your spirit. And everything we do, be you a Christian, a Muslim, stems from who you are on the inside. So you should be able to listen to songs that helps, that inspires you. And not all songs can inspire. So you be intentional about, okay, look at the lyrics of the song, look at the tune of the song. How does it look at your personality type? Does it suit you? They look at the environment, because music is not something you do in isolation. You're playing music, there are people around. Now, does it fit this context that I'm in? And personal preferences is good, but look at, okay, the environment. That's what we'll talk about, context. Look at, okay, what time of the day? What is the structure of the music? What do I actually want to achieve by listening to this kind of music? Will this help me? Won't this help me? So you look at that's why you see that people like Obama, you see something online, Obama has a playlist. So you create your playlist, okay. On the January, I have a lot to achieve. There are a lot of deadlines to meet. I need something that it gets me to think at that frequency, because music is about frequency. So I can think at that altitude, to get me to start processing that things are possible. No matter how difficult the task my boss has given me, I can do this. If anybody has done it before, I can do it. So there's not all the kind of street song that take you to that frequency. Some just keep you at the page, just make you just for survival, just that you're existing. So you should be intentional about the lyrics of the music, then the instrumentation that govern that such music.
Okay, you're still thinking about it. Okay. Is there any... I'm going to stoke a fire. 3 categories of people: men, women, children. I know you do music for children. So, and speak to parenting. Children just jump to any music as far as they are concerned, especially when they go to parties and all of those things. Is there a way to guide children into the areas of music that they should pay attention to?
yes.
Or is there a need?
I'll prefer that. There is a need. I know it's quite tough, especially nowadays, because even when you don't solicit for some music, you get to some places, you just launch the music. But there is a need for parents to consciously guide their children to the kind of music that will help their brain development, because at this time of their age, they need to develop. They need to develop resistance, they need to develop tolerance, they need to develop in many ways. So there's some music that they are only exposed to just hyping them. And that's why when they grow older, they can't even think, they just want to gyrate, they just want to go and played it just because they are not properly developed. So for their brain development as children, there's a need for parents to really guide the children, the kind of music.
Mr. Iguero,
Yes, sir.
is there a specific or special kind of songs or music? Okay, I think there's a difference between songs and music.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not today. Just this one very, very quickly in about 45 seconds or thereabout. Is there a specific kind of music good for certain genders?
Gender-based? Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, not really, because music is universal. So when we try to do gender-based, then we'll try to streamline it and create a bracket. So there's not, in my own opinion, I may be wrong, I don't see it that way. I just feel because it's universal, it cuts across. You have one head, two eyes, too, so there's no need for creating the music. So it goes across. There's no...
A quick one
yes,
to quickly follow up on the question that I asked Mr. Abio the other time. There is certain character of music that children listen to in cartoons, poems, and rhymes, and all of those things. Are there choices? Because there are some. Is there a reason for those songs? Because there are some. For instance, there are certain stations that people tell that are advised not to give their children to watch.
Yeah, because of the impact of this music on the children. Most of the cartoons that we listen to, sound for children, they are intentionally created to grab their attention. And people tend to remember what they listen for in music than what the words you say to them. So there are rules guiding those kind of creation of music. And number one, the words must be very friendly. Then the question is, must be didactic, to teach, not just to. So anything that's not teaching the child anything, I think it should be discarded.
I guess I need to speak to some people and ask them, why did you play me Tom and Jerry all my life? Because I still watch Tom and Jerry. I still listen to this music. Caleb,
well, that's what it is. There's negative effects of music and there's therapeutic effects of music.
There's some music you should not listen to when you're driving.
Watch what you listen to at what time. It's not the music itself, it's when you listen to it. I suppose, I hope we've added more to your knowledge this morning. And going into the new year, a lot of you are going to be listening to music from now into the new year. So watch the kind of music you listen to. Make sure it is not one that puts you down in the pits.
The one that
you need music that will uplift your spirit. Like he said, music is for body, soul and spirit. Thank you very much, Mr. Caleb Eguero and Mr. Abiodun Ibiyo, both musicologists. Thank you very much. And we wish you a happy new year indeed.
Same to you.
Sunrise will be right back with the home stretch in just a moment.